Rise a compatriot, Nigeria's call. We need to stand up tall, make Nigeria strong. It's no more time to fight, it's no more time to kill, it's no more time to shed innocent blood. Want to chase 1,000, to chase 10,000, yeah. Then we can change the whole world. I rise a sleeping giant, just to see the sign of a burnt train.
We don't want no war. We don't want no blood. We don't want no tears in our land. I mean, all we want is peace. All we want is love. I mean, I don't know. I keep thinking about it. I keep pondering on those words, and those words, they revitalizing. Well, this is Eagles Morning Rises Breakfast Show, and yes, we're looking into the front page of what the Eagle's eyes caught, and this is Eagle's Outlook, where we talk politics, we talk current affairs, and everything in between. Welcome aboard to the discourse. Now, earlier on, I had said or mentioned that we will be looking into the police academy, the police schools, how teachers have been stagnated at one level for so long a time. Could this be a ripple effect into why our policing is somewhat lacking in terms of academicians? Why is lacking in terms of strategy? Why it is lacking and in terms of proper training? Because the truth is, you and I would agree together that education is the bedrock of any society. That's right, and that's fact. Now, my name is Udwak Daniel, and we will be looking at the stagnant promotion amongst teachers of police secondary schools all across the nation, right? All over, the stagnant promotion amongst teachers of police secondary schools. Now, I'm going to start by bringing some very powerful quotes. Now, the late Solomon Arase, Inspector General of Police, between 2014 and 2015, he says, "It is my pleasure to inform you that the IG has approved the upgrading and promotion of 558 teachers in all police primary and secondary schools nationwide." He goes on to saying, "We believe that with this promotion, our teachers would be better motivated to give their best and to ensure that the schools produce academically sound and well-rounded students." Right? Now, there was another voice that tells us that a charge civilian teachers of police children's schools, PCS, to justify their promotions by putting in more efforts to produce pupils with appropriate knowledge, skills, and attitudes for further education. Juliana Yogo had once said, I think she was one time, there was the director of administration, force education headquarters now. She had once said that the input of the teachers would be appreciated through the pupils who are the products of their schools, urging them not to relent in their efforts so that more good things would come their way. Now, outside the shores of Nigeria, Malala Yousafzai, Pakistani education activist, says one child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Greta Thunberg, Swedish environmental activist, the one thing we need more than hope is action. Once we start to act, hope is everywhere. And now, Barack Obama, the 44th president of the United States, says the best way to make sure our children have a brighter future is to give them a world-class education. Little wonder, some very keen political analysts have mentioned, time without number, that should we be able to handle and glorify education, we would have indeed solved 95 of our problems. Societal challenges, societal problems, because you have people who are thinking, right-minded people, who've been educated, who've got some exposure. Now, the issue of stagnant promotion amongst teachers of police secondary schools across Nigeria, it is sparking conversation. It's bringing about concerns about career development and motivation. I mean, some staff members have been stuck on level 8 since 2020, level 8. And this is raising questions about effectiveness of the police force education system. Now, this discourse is all important to discuss because it affects the quality of education in police secondary schools across Nigeria. When teachers are demotivated due to stagnant promotion, I mean, it leads to poor education quality. And it can have far-reaching consequences on the students. Not just the students, it will have even on the parents, as well as the society as a whole. Little wonder, quite a number of education experts have called on the federal government and even ASU on a larger and broader scale now, saying that in all of your wanton needs, all of the applications that you brought before the federal government, none of them is directly or directed at the quality of the students. None of them. Oh, I was in school, the University ABU Zaria back in the day, and I discovered that there was a fund. There were allocations for funding any student who wants to run on a research, even outside the shores of Nigeria, but we never had that opportunity. In fact, who even gave you that information? How would you even, I just stumbled on it. I stumbled on it. But those funds are there, or not. Probably siphoned or used for some other stuff as welfareism for between the university management, I don't know. But none, there was none sponsored. There was none sponsored to even go out there and say, let me run a research maybe in Togo. Let me go to Ghana. Let me go to the UK. I mean, there are funds like that, allocations like that. We are not benefiting from it, but we went to school. We paid tuition. I mean, think about it. Think about it for a moment. If teachers are not motivated, they may not be able to put in their best effort. And it will lead to poor academic performance. It will lead to low self-esteem and a lack of interest even in education among students. It will perpetuate a cycle of underdevelopment. Nigeria's progress will crumble. Moreover, the police force is a critical institution in maintaining law and order in the country. So if the education system within the police is subpar, the quality of officers will also be compromised. And it will have serious implications for national security and public safety. So discussing this issue is crucial, is sacrosanct, as we will be looking into a need for reform and to push for policies that prioritize the welfare and career development, that prioritize teachers in police secondary schools. I mean, because by doing so, what we will have been able to achieve will be the fact that our children will receive quality education, and that the police force in itself is well equipped with the best possible officers to serve and protect the nation. Now, when we're connecting with our guest in a short bit, Comrade Saliu Mahmoud Dantata. Now, he will be adding his voice in the discourse this morning. He's a renowned security expert. He's got experience that runs deep for decades. And he'll be sharing his thoughts on the matter this morning. Keep in mind, this is Eagle's Outlook, where we mirror into politics and everything in between, current affairs too as well, and we leave no stones unturned. Now, whilst we are indeed connecting with him, there are some critical aspects that I want to bring to us. Historically, the police force education system has faced challenges in terms of career development, promotion, and all. I mean, in 2015, if you recall, the Nigerian police force introduced a new promotion policy aimed at improving career progression for officers. However, that implementation of the policy started to dilly-dally, became like a desk-skull, very slow, and the teachers now are very frustrated. A teacher who wishes to remain anonymous from a police secondary school in Nigeria contacted me over this for some days now, like 4 days ago. And this teacher has been stuck on level 8 for 5 years. They say it's demotivating to see colleagues promoted while I'm left behind. I'm starting to lose interest in my job. And if interest, passion is lost, productivity, the gains will also be lost. Honestly. So imagine you're in a place for quite some time and there are no opportunities for career development, or you're not growing. You're not going from one level to the other and all of that. You're just stuck. And nobody in his right senses will be able to manage that. And that's fact. Hence, this discourse is not just going to be pertaining to the police, although that's the primary subject for discourse, but it will look at every other sphere of life. A very good morning to you, Comrade Saliu.
Good morning.
Mahmoud
Good
Dantata.
morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Awesome.
Good morning.
Well, Comrade, I am glad that we are having this conversation today, and I do believe that with your expertise that you would indeed add your voice loudly and clearly. You are a renowned security expert. You've also delved into other matters that concern education and even matters that concern growth and development without resting on your oars. Now, we are looking at an issue that borders on stagnant promotion amongst teachers of police secondary schools across Nigeria. Right. Now, as a security expert, I believe this issue is a ticking time bomb. I mean, if teachers are demotivated, we all know it can lead to poor education quality, and this can be far-reaching consequences on the students and the society. Many a time we've talked about how the police reform, we've talked about promotions, we've talked about welfareism for the police. But how does it feel when we are talking about matters that concern being stuck at a level while those of you who are probably not as qualified as you are rising above you? I mean, what is it about this discourse that comes to your heart?
Well, thank you very much, Udo, for asking me this question. You see, the police secondary schools across the country are managed by the Force Education. And there, I know, just like the command secondary schools owned by the Nigerian Army, Navy schools owned by the Nigerian Navy, Air Force schools owned by the Nigerian Air Force. But there seems to be discrimination over time because, number one, you can imagine, it's just like a Ministry of Defense. You have Defense Academy, Command and Staff College, Armed Forces Resettlement Center, and some other components. If you go to NDA, for instance, just the way there are military officers working there, there are also civilian staffs who are staffs of Ministry of Defense. Are you with me?
Yes, go ahead.
Even though I know most of the military men posted there, their welfare is taken care by their own military headquarters. But the issue about the police secondary school is that you find that there are people they employ since 2020. Stagnant. You employ, it's just like in federal civil service, somebody joined with level 8. And after 5 years, the person is still on level 8. What have you done? Then the uniform people are getting their own going. So in that way, who now teaches the knowledge? You are not satisfying the person. So it has been so. In fact, even the salary, regularization too, all these things are there. So it's not only one factor, there are other factors related to it. So the issues are the Inspector General of Police must address that with immediate effect by asking the DIG administration to call the person in charge of force education to ask what are the reasons why since 2020 somebody will be on level 8, will not be promoted, and also of others. So beyond just that of promotion, regularization is also a problem there. And these are people you want to, they are teaching other people in your schools, academic angle and aspect of it. So in the whole, it means some civilian aspect of these security agencies don't enjoy certain things. And we must be all encompassing, we must be all inclusive and take each other as one.
All right. Well, thank you, Comrade Dentata, for sharing that thought, in the matter this morning. Now, there are some very salient questions that Nigerians are asking. Even though the answers have not been quite explicit, why have some staff members been stuck on level 8 since 2020? I mean, we have seen that based on proper research. And of course, what are the criteria, if you have any, if you know any, for promotion in the police force education system? And finally, how will the police force education authorities, how would you advise them, to address this promotion stagnation? Is there anything that can be done?
Yes, it can be addressed, because even in area of their salary, there was a time it has to be taken up, and they address that. So this issue of stagnant promotion too can be done, because it's under the purview of the Inspector General of Police. The force education is under him. He's buying calling and say what is wrong. Constitute a committee to do that immediately, because you need to motivate people, you need to encourage people. It's just like in men's civil service or even the armed forces and other, and even the police. When you join, for example, as ASP cadet, and you spend certain years on certain line, you don't feel okay. So that same feeling should also extend to their civilian staff in their secondary school, because these are people that are like their image to when they go out, they say, you work with the police secondary school, how is it? So whatever wrong impression they give to the public about the schools is not a good thing.
Right. Well, anyways, the conversation is still trending here. What far-reaching implications might be there on the part of the teachers, on the part of the students, and even the parents?
Well, the issues are at the part of the students. The teachers who are stagnant might not be able to give their best, because they will have that psychological thinking that, after all, what I'm giving, the best is not given to me in terms of my right and also other things. So there are a lot of it, a lot of things that goes down with it. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So it has implications. So above all, it should be quickly addressed. I think that is what I feel.
But what about the parts of the parents? Do they share the brunt of this?
No, parents don't share because parents only take their children to school. The people that share a bunch of it is the police force education that are in charge of that promotion and of the other things.
So if I understand you correctly, it does seem as though there are issues that concern accountability in this sense, when it comes to the promotion within the police force, right? Because quite a number of persons are saying that the implication is lack of transparency in the promotion process and that there is no accountability whatsoever. Is that correct?
Yes, you are very correct. Accountability also, because once you are accountable, you wouldn't allow certain things to happen.
Now,
so this kind of things, yes.
Yeah. Now, there has been some, some voice, very loud voices. Now, Solomon Arase, former Inspector General of Police between 2014 and 2015, he had said that the promotion of 558 police school teachers is a step towards improving education quality. That was in between 2014 and 2015 while he was there. Now, could this mean that after such promotion of 558, we began to see a dilly-dallying or retrogression when it comes to promotion, within the system? Secondly, Kayode Egbetokun, Inspector General of Police, from 2023 up until now, had said promotion in Nigeria Police Force is transparent and based on merit. Do you share in that? Or do you think that the IGP is just unaware of what's going on?
Sometimes, the IGP is overwhelmed. So he wouldn't know what is going on so well. But I believe what is happening now, it is very, very possible he's not aware. So with this awareness now, we now be able to know that one of my components, the police has so many components. So possibly he is not aware, but with this awareness, he might be aware. And once he gets aware, the best for him to do is to do the needful.
Well, National Education Officers Association of Nigeria, as of 2020, reported with the Vanguard, and this is what they said, and I'm going to say it verbatim. It says, "We advocate for the intervention of the National Assembly to address promotion stagnation among education officers." That was in 2020. And Egbetokun took over from 2023. Now, to think that the IGP will be unaware would make some Nigerians laugh. Why? Because he was within the system. He was within the system. He wasn't just brought out from another police in Ghana or Togo or Somalia and they say, okay, come and become the IGP. He was in the system. He must have seen and heard something. And then it makes it, it makes it a broader conversation, when we talk about the chain of communication within the force. Don't you think that this is a serious problem? And it's something that the IGP should quickly look into?
I think the IG must look into that because it's necessary in order to move things forward. Because that is injustice to certain people.
That's my point exactly. So if it is injustice to certain people, and we see the injustice go on, and there is a delay in advancing justice, isn't that injustice in its own self?
Yes.
An indictment to the office in itself.
Yes.
Right. So if that is the case, let's look at comparative analysis. What is really obtainable elsewhere? In South Africa, the Department of Education implemented a performance-based promotion system. Now, that system was to ensure merit-based promotions. I mean, in Ghana Education Service introduced a new promotion policy aimed at improving career progression for teachers.
Come again?
Ghana Education Service, right? I mean, they introduced something that they called a new promotion policy. It was basically aimed at improving career progression for teachers. Now, why am I looking at these other countries? I'm saying that beyond the police, let's also talk education. Could it mean that the bottom line, the real issue that's going on, or the attack on education, is a matter of funding or a matter of progress?
Well, educationally, generally, there is underfunding when you look at education in Nigeria, because even they start from the universities and others. You see that it is even of recent that ASU had to resolve certain issues with federal government, where even there are retirees and also others. So education has not been having it. Even though, education is a three steps arrangement. Local government has local education authority for primary schools. State also controls certain secondary schools. Federal government controls federal government college unity schools and some universities, and also states also have their own universities, polytechnics, colleges of education, same way federal government. So the issue is the priority to education has been very poor and has been very low, which ought not to be. Above all, I think national emergency could be declared on education.
National emergency could be declared on emergency. Well, education tops now, and when we look at the budget, education tops with 135 billion naira as Zulum presents, and that's Zulum now. It presents Borno State governor as presenting a whopping 890.33 billion naira 2026 budget. And it does seem as though not just Zulum now, even Anambra State seems to be topping in terms of allocation or monies that have been earmarked for education and all of that. Do you think that this will indeed bring some improvement? Because Nigerians may be aware of some of these data and figures and numbers, but how it trickles down in terms of allocation is where the issue comes. And it still boils down to the place of transparency. It boils down to the place of integrity. It also boils down to the place of accountability. And finally, many a time, we discover corruption.
Corruption is also part of it, because most of these monies budgeted, I don't think they are adequately used. So we cannot rule out corruption as part of it. So the issue is the National Assembly, both the upper and lower chamber committees on education must intensify on their oversight, and the state governors too must prioritize that. Then when you come to federal government, that is the mother and father, they must take education seriously, because they are more, even though we know without security there can be education. If you see the amounts expanded for security, it exceeds that of education, even though we know security covers everything. So education must be made very, very important in order to meet up certain
Right.
Because an educated society brings development.
But there's also been this debate regarding the placement or the regarding the value attached to teachers, across board. Because, many a time we just say, they are just teachers now. That's their job. They are teachers. Do you think that Nigeria has gotten to the point where we place a high value and a high alert value on teachers, who most of the time are the educators who bring about politicians and who bring about scientists, who bring about mathematicians? I mean, people who study whatever course it is that you study, you went through teachers. Have teachers been given the place, the mantle, the seat, the regard that they ought to have? And what can we do to ensure that teachers are indeed seen as a vital tool in preparing students for proper education to work in Nigeria?
You see, we don't place priority and value to teachers. If not, they won't be in penury for time. If you observe, teachers are the ones that teach people that work in CBN, NNPC, become president, ministers, governors. At the end of the day, they say their reward lies in the heavens. So I think we need to do a lot for teachers. And when I say teachers, both from primary schools, secondary schools, universities, college education, polytechnics, and also for that, because the way you make welfare of other staffs of parastatals paramount and important. If you make that of teachers, if you go a long way, because without the teacher teaching them, they wouldn't have this quality to work in these places they are working. So in all, we need to be holistic, that we need to place value for teachers.
All right. Well, let's just go pay some bills. When we come back, we get to hear from family members with regarding what they think. And then as much as we're talking about, teachers promotion, boosting their morale and everything, we might as well want to consider teachers training as well, because it's very key in the discourse if we must get it rightly, whether in the police, in the police force or outside academics, from the police. Well, we'll just go pay some bills now, comrade. We'll be right back in a short bit. And engage in this conversation. It will be an engagement for all. Because as we get into 2026, a lot of things have got to change. I know quite a number of people have had, certain aspects of the country that they believe if we are able to get it rightly or get a nod of regard, we will have been or set ourselves apart on the pathways to change. And this is what must happen, because if a change in itself is, change is constant in itself. Everything changes. If a bad tradition is vouched for into a new tradition or a better tradition, even the gods will endorse it. We'll just pay some bills. We will be right back with the discourse, and I would love for you to add your voice in the discourse loudly and clearly, no bars holding. We'll be right back.
No AC? No problem. We're cooling it down with the freshest hits.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Power Homes and Shelters Limited, a real estate company. We be Baba for properties. Our properties national best.
Please listen to this important infomercial. It's Powell's time on radio. Abuja. Powell Homes and Shelters Limited has come with a vision of transforming housing through innovation, style and integrity. At Powell Homes and Shelters Limited, we deliver affordable luxury, comfort and reliability in real estate. We offer genuine lands, elegant homes, modern designs and flexible payment plans to make your dream home a reality. Visit us today and experience excellence you can trust. Our address is number 52, Suez Crescent, Abacha Estate, Wuse Zone 4, Abuja. You can call us on telephone number 081 510 20000 or 080 925 70000. The number to call us once again is 081 510 20000 or 080 926 70000. Now let's hear what your sister and veteran Nollywood actress Patience Ozoko Mama G has to say about this company.
My people, my name is Patience Ozoko, popularly known as Mama G. G for General. Do you want to buy genuine lands and other properties and need a brand you can trust? Think Powell Home and Shelters Limited. With a reputation built on honesty and reliability, we ensure your investment is secured. Our team of experts is dedicated to providing personalized service tailored to your needs. Join countless of satisfied customers who have found their dream properties with us. For inquiries, please call 0815 102 0000 or 0809 257 0000. We can get you property from any part of Nigeria. Think real estate, think Powell.
Thank you, Mama G, for that wonderful talk. Remember, our office is at number 52, Suez Crescent, Abacha Estate, Wuse Zone 4, Abuja. We also have branches in Enugu, Owerri, Oka, and Asaba, and Nairobi. Think real estate, think Powell.
Power Homes and Shelters Limited, a real estate company. We be Baba for properties. Our properties national best. Invest your money, create a better future. A real estate company. We be Baba for properties. Real estate, our properties national best. Power Homes Homes and Shelters Limited, a real estate company wey be baba for property. Our priority na to satisfy our client to the best.
This one na pampa, this one na helele. It never happened before. Magic season promo from Team Pumping Concepts. Develop our weekend.
Now so, no ask us for Team Pumping Concept. How we go do it? It go be like magic. Only changes with some on our 60% discount on all our products. We call them Magic Season promo. Now you go take the lion's share. Hey, people don't the rush up everywhere. Our land where they capsana, Gusape, Apugude, plus include your chara land where we get for you. Now small time now. This Ogundia wolf go finish. We don't kickstart time from Wednesday, December 10. Go reach January 7, 2026 New Year. No dollar 7 for this festive season. This na magical way to wrap up the year. Come we office way day number 12 from Morofia Street. We sit to Abuja. Tell you why now 090-5454-5468 080-5288-8007 or 090-7917-7774. T-Pumpy Concept. Developer that cares.
Things they happen for our community, eh?
Now I can recoup back all the money I have spent on this annoying family.
Hey, yeah. That woman own don't finish.
My dear, let's go and greet them, okay?
Hey! Join Media Coalition and Awareness to hold trafficking, MICAS, on I Wish I Knew radio drama and program every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Join us to kick human trafficking out of our society. I Wish I Knew radio drama and program is brought to you by MICAS and funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Denmark.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. It is Eagles Morning Risers Breakfast Show, and we are looking into Eagles Outlook, basically looking at a stagnant promotion among teachers of police secondary schools across Nigeria. I mean, it's quite disheartening that we can be talking about matters like this in a 21st century, in a time and age where we're talking innovation, we're talking technology, we're talking about growth and progress. We're talking about a brighter future. And yet, it does not seem as though the future got brighter in the present, or the future tomorrow might be brighter tomorrow. But because some say that yesterday shone brighter. And that's a misnomer. I mean, how can yesterday shine better than the present, than today? If yesterday is shining better than today, then what hopes do we have for tomorrow? But I'm hoping that the IGP, Kayode Egbetokun, will do the needful this time and take it up from where we are having this conversation and ensure that the quality of lives of teachers across police secondary schools across the country will indeed be upgraded, and that the motivation will indeed be institutionalized. I mean, I don't know why we have to keep talking one thing over and over again. But regardless of the reason behind, we will not stop talking. And that is our motivation. The motivation is that we want to see a better society. We want to see better welfare. And I think that's what Comrade Saliu Mahmoud Dantata actually puts out there. Let me get back to reiterate the accounts. I mean, there are teachers within this police secondary schools who are wallowing. They are wallowing in poverty. They're impoverished. They teach leaders of tomorrow, but they themselves have nothing to write home about. And just as the guest mentioned, it is common say, oh, the teacher's rewards is in heaven. Teacher's rewards, oh, they're in heaven, is in heaven. As a teacher, don't expect that your reward will come here. Your reward is in the joy that these children have grown up to become somebody while you're still at the same level that you were. Is that progress? Is that retrogression? Is that stagnation? I mean, what comes to your mind if you were put in the shoes? Maybe you have a brother, a sister, a cousin, a friend, a neighbor who is stuck at a particular level and cannot move forward. Is not moving backwards, just stagnated. And quality of life is far from these ones. How would you feel if you were in that shoe? And it calls for deep conscientization. It calls for deep reasoning. How persons will sit at the high echelon of power. Now, I can't really say how the administrative channel or hierarchical channel is placed within the force, but if the IGP is not aware before, well, now he is aware and is got to do something, and he has to do it really fast. A teacher who wished to be anonymous for security reasons, who's also from a police secondary school in Nigeria, contacted me and says, I have been stuck at level 8 for 5 years. Level 8, 5 years. And she says, they say it's demotivating to see colleagues promoted while I'm left behind. That's how she felt. And another one said, young man, bro, I am starting to lose interest in my job. So maybe we will excuse some of these teachers when they are not indeed living up to the expectation of passing knowledge, transferring knowledge. May not be an excuse to you, may not even be an excuse at all. But then again, looking at it from a human angle, oh, you can get demotivated. And when you get demotivated on anything you do, you're not able to indeed climb or rise above or impact. It becomes pretty hard. So when interest is lost, when motivation is low, morale is very low, it also tells you the quality of leaders of tomorrow that we are breeding. The quality of police officers, for those who will choose to want to join the police tomorrow as officers, the quality. Many a time I have seen big-bellied police officers. And one question that comes to my mind is, how do you perform your duty? Or pot-bellied, that's the word. How do you perform your duty in the terms of an emergency? How do you even run? How do you keep fit? I know some of you will say, no, they still keep fit. What is in the body is in the body. The training you've done, who said? Training is constant. I know a military officer. I'm taking it broad now. I know a military officer who, having attained the rank of rear admiral, still effortlessly does push-up 200 at a spot effortlessly. There's no pot belly. Keeping feet, jogging a rear admiral. So we're not talking quantity now. We're talking quality. We're talking welfareism. We're talking motivation. We're talking incentive. We're talking promotion. Now, you want to add your voice to the discourse. Do you think that this is a menace? Do you think it's something that we must call a national emergency on? I mean, I've seen emergency on insecurity now. I mean, after various calls, left, right, and center, there's been an emergency on insecurity. Can we not also declare an emergency on education from a broader aspect now? Looking from the place of Mr. President. Can't we declare it? Or do we not see that education is in a state of comatose, if not already gone? Is only hanging on a thread. Because it's key. We're going into 2026 now, a few hours from now. What will be our lot? What will the future look like? What will tomorrow look like? (0907) it is 353-0044. That is the number to call. Again, 0907 353-0044. The other number is 0908 766 8888. And the WhatsApp portal number is 0909 705 445 Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What is your name?
Alrighty. So we go to Comrade now, and let's get to hear from Comrade what his final thoughts will be on this. I mean, you can as well have a playback on Facebook and YouTube. I know that you hear me, but maybe you're ruminating. You're trying to resonate with what the reality is. But I can tell you, if we have a society where education is dead and gone, then we have a society that will never, ever prosper. Comrade, are you there? Comrade? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you.
All right. Yeah, Comrade. What would be your final key thoughts as to how we can drive out of this quagmire, this menace that we have found ourselves in terms of what the teachers are going through within the police secondary schools across Nigeria, in terms of what the students are, the pupils or students are going through, and then in terms of what education generally is passing through, especially in view of 2026?
The way out is for it to be immediately addressed by stagnant staffs of police secondary schools getting promoted, accompanied by their packages. Henceforth, there shouldn't be that discrimination, because in those schools there are also uniformed police officers that teaches. So there shouldn't be discrimination. If the Police Service Commission and the police authorities do not delay their own promotion, how come they are delaying the promotion of the civilian staffs who are teachers there? So it should be addressed. Inspector General of Police must wade into it, give immediate order in order for it to be addressed. I think that is the final word I have. And let us prioritize education, because without education, we cannot even join the forces and be fighting criminality.
Right. But one more thing will be the place of training. So it doesn't also seem as though we are promoting people who are half-baked, who are not trained, who do not even know their jobs in the first place. Because it's one thing to cry out and say, we have not been promoted, I am still where I am. Well, some of my colleagues, for some preferential reason, they have been promoted, I am stuck here. Training, doesn't it ring a bell?
Well, for the teachers, a lot of them went to schools where they taught them how to teach.
Okay.
So periodically they can organize seminars and internal courses where they can be further capacitated and their skills enhanced.
Okay.
I think that way it will go a long way as well.
All right, so that creates a balance already. Thank you, Comrade Saliu Mahmoud
Thank you very
Dantata,
much,
for adding your voice in the discourse. Right, this is where we call it a close. I think it's time for sober reflection, deep thinking, as well as looking forward to how we can ameliorate some of these issues, because education is not something we will ever say is a talk that we must just say once and move away. I mean, it's something that is in continuum. We have to keep talking about it until that change indeed comes to pass. All right? And I'm urging the Inspector General of Police, as well as every other cadre or hierarchy that is directly or indirectly concerned with the welfare, with the promotion system, with a motivation system, incentive system, whatever it is that was the system that should run, that should work, to do the needful. We cannot be facing insecurity, having our brothers and sisters dying. And then we're still facing depression as a result of being stagnated at a particular level for over 5 years. It is really appalling. That's why we've seen quite a number of people lose their life, take their lives. We've seen quite a number of people go mental. They're living with mental disorder. And then these are people that we seem and deem the literate of the society. Yet, they live with mental disorder all their lives. And when they act in a certain way, we are very, very quick to judge. Very quick to point morality when we have no idea what they're dealing with. Anyways, where we call it a close already, but thank you still for being a part of this. Thank you for listening through, and thank you too for being that voice that would reach out to somebody that knows somebody within the echelon of power, within the police system, as well as the education sector in this country, to do the needful. And if you can't have the words, the right words to put it out to them, to say it, get on to Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Yes, we have a strong presence on Facebook. We have it on YouTube, and have a playback on this particular discourse. It's all important, and it must be said. At Eagles FM Abuja, it is on YouTube. Do well to subscribe. On Facebook, it is at Eagles FM Abuja as well. Give us a like, give us a following, leave a comment in the comment section, and refer us to these people so they see themselves and they remember that there is a need for justice, equity, transparency, accountability. For that is the sole reason and purpose for which they are where they are today, to serve, not to amass wealth, ill-gotten wealth. Right? To serve is to serve. Service first. Service. Udwag Daniel is my name.
Sorry for the inconvenience.